The first time I met his mother was the first time I was reminded of what I didn't have. No family, no status, no name. I was just a girl who served drinks at a night bar. That's where he met me. He was a banker, a regular customer who came to unwind with his friends. We talked, laughed, and something about him made me feel seen. One thing led to another. I got pregnant. I didn't trap him. Believe me, I loved him, and I thought he did too. He said an abortion was not an option, and wow, I felt that was being protective of me and what we had. When he took me to meet his mother, she looked at me like I crawled out of dirt. And then she asked me a question I will never forget. What do you bring to the table? We don't just get pregnant around here. We are more useful. That question, that statement broke something inside me. I felt so cheap. I felt wayward, like a mistake he had brought home. But still, we got married. But the marriage, it was hell. His mother never stopped reminding me that I was beneath their name. My husband didn't help either. He watched as she tore me apart bit by bit. The only one that showed me kindness was my father-in-law. God bless his soul. I had my baby and still no peace, just tears, stress, and loneliness in a house filled with people. I got tired. 5 years later, I couldn't take it anymore. I packed my bags and left with my son, back to my mother's village, a place I hadn't been in years. There, I reconnected with an old friend who was in her final year studying medicine at the university. She encouraged me to buy the university entrance form. I looked at her and I laughed. Me, school? With which money? Who will take care of my child? But she looked at me dead in the eyes and said something. If you didn't bring anything to the table the first time, then make sure you build your own table this time. Those words stayed with me. I bought the form. I sat for the entrance examination. I chose medicine and surgery, just like my friend. I don't even know where the boldness to choose that kind of course came from, but I did. Somehow, I passed. And with the help of my friend's uncle, who was a councillor in my local government, I got a scholarship for my entire university education. But then, the greater issue came. Where will I keep my son? But just when I was thinking about it, help came. My friend's mother offered to take care of him. She said she was lonely and wouldn't mind having my son around. And that was how I started again. This time, for me and for my child. 8 years passed. I became a doctor. A real doctor. White coat, stethoscope and everything. I got my own apartment, my own life. I know at this point you will ask, what about my ex-husband and his family? They never checked up on me. They never asked of my son. I heard he remarried. I don't know how true that is. But one night, during my shift at the emergency unit, I got a new case file. The name on the file looked so familiar. And it was her, my mother-in-law. She was weak, sick, and so fragile. I walked into her room, and for a second, she didn't even recognize me. I looked at her and I said, "Mommy, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" Her eyes widened. She couldn't believe it. She burst into tears. She held my hand and, you know what? She begged for forgiveness. Did I forgive her? Yes, absolutely, I did. I gave it to her. Not because she deserved it, but because I no longer needed her approval to feel worthy. I had become the table. And finally, they had to sit at it with respect. Her son came around that evening. She told him she saw me. I know she told him about me. Because he came looking for me in my office. But don't ask any question for that. I forgave him. And don't forget, he's married. And I have moved on.